Well, hello everybody. Long time no hear. No, I did not disappear. However, I really did not realize what the heck I put myself into by adopting a puppy. And what a great puppy it is. His name is Tiger, if you don't follow me on Facebook. But trust me, it was a shock to the system. I had a dog when I was like much younger and I completely forgot about it, right? So as soon as I got over the what the was I thinking phase and finally caught on some sleep, the monthlies, were not possible. So sorry about that, but I guess and I hope you understand. So here we are. Yay. So this particular time we are looking for transition of Aries. I'm going back to actually doing tarot scopes, like not necessarily for a month only, even though technically that would make it easier for me. So sort of like transition 23rd to 23rd sort of a thing, right? Hello Gemini, and welcome to Aries transitions, the 23rd to 23rd. And so let's see what the spirit is bringing us into. You're getting the base card, the bottom of the deck, the cat, and that's the equivalent of the Fool. I'll be telling you all the cards along the way as we are going. So look at that. Let's name this lavender. Well, where is catnip? Where is this? Where is that? It is kind of like investigation of the world. It is kind of like, in which direction do I really want to go? And what kind of like world and life will I have today? This card is very promising. It is also an air. And air is kind of like connecting with kind of like bigger ideas, in which direction we maybe need to plan. It's not necessarily, okay, I'm going to set this goal and let's buckle up and go there. This is more or less a visionary kind of attitude. As an air sign, it's almost like feels like a big massive spring cleaning. I need to do this is too much and I need to get rid of it, and all of a sudden the energy flows better. So it seems like that you have been going through a really lazy period. Like when I see this like Four of Sea or Four of Cups, look at this. The kitty is like, leave me alone. Lobsters, lobster schmobsters kind of a thing, right? So this Four of Sea tells me that maybe you have been in a period where you have been on a bare minimum of communicating. Very unusual for Gemini, if you ask me. It's kind of like, really? Are you sick, baby? Are you sick? But you kind of like felt maybe the winter was getting to you. Maybe it was a time of the year. It just like felt like a little bit out of place, and I can see it here. Maybe some of you had money issues. Maybe some of you felt, oh my goodness, I have to figure out something, how to make money, how to, catch up. Some of you felt a little bit of despondent. Maybe confidence was low. Well, I'm not having it as good as the others, right? Because in this kind of like card, look at this. The kitty is watching, the two kitties cuddling and having this gorgeous food in the privacy of the home. And then, oh, why is this not happening to me? The truth is, you're out, and there's like still something to celebrate, like freedom versus non-freedom. So positioning is always really interesting when you kind of like look from that perspective over here. So core of your reading here is Fire Kitten and Seven of Fire. Yay, fire. So Fire Kitten is like about being supercharged. It is like very untamed energy. So hands, there is like this, I don't know, can you see this like smoked tail? It's catching on fire and nothing is really pushing me away from it. I'm kind of like mesmerized. It can be a little bit of too much of the energy, because look at this, like that fire is kind of like being used. Seven of Fire generally talks about keeping your position, and I can see this keeping position throughout your reading. It almost looks like there is like something nightmarish-y over here, like you're having this like 9 of sky, having a whole bunch of things going through your head. Maybe it's kind of like still dealing with the people and not knowing how to position and how to go. But it's really interesting how much fire we have. Like we have a fire here, we have fire here, and we have fire here. So it's going to be really Duracell bunny, energizer bunny, ding 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 ding. You'll be going places, you'll be doing things. So it almost looks like it's for you something really new, even though you might actually have some false starts. You might have things where you will figure out that maybe you have said things to people that you're really not supposed to say. Maybe you did things that maybe you were not supposed to do. But it almost looks like there's going to be entrance of a few people in your life. First of all, you're going to get this whole energy of, hey, I'm turning a new leaf, I'm opening a new book, and whatever needs to be done, a diet, or cleaning the house, or putting your affairs in order, or paying the bills, coming up with a plan, addressing all those issues that have been somehow sitting on a back burner. So 3 of fire is like, to me, that ultimate card. Where am I heading? Look at this. It is like the last step before jump. You know, when you see this kitty like that, oh my goodness, like, so now I figure out where I really want to go. To me, this is also a card of friendships and relationships. Maybe you feel kind of like really isolated. Maybe you feel that somebody shoved you aside, but it looks like it was lots of internal processing. It was lots of layers, and these layers in you didn't fall just cleanly one on top of another and like a sheet that you stretch it. No, they were starting to mesh with each other. It was like a jello that didn't completely kind of like get cold. So now like they're mixing, and kind of like it feels that you're starting to be really aware that there was like a part of issue, and it was an issue obviously of this tiredness, like running out of batteries. It could be just simply a long bad winter, or just like a long stretch of time where you really need to kind of like reconfigure things. But it really feels this is it, ready, set, go kind of a thing. And then who in the world is this fire king that is like woo woo woo, dating dating dating? There's like somebody coming, and fire king could be a fire sign, but fire king definitely to me is a dating person. So you're out on the market, and you're attracting people like bees, and it's going to be kind of like a two people that I see. It's going to be really tough choice for you. Look at that. Which way the wind blows, what do I do, kind of a thing. Indecision, kind of hard to move, because it almost looks like somebody woke you up from the sleep and now you have to drive really Formula 1, that you didn't have that space where you prepare yourself mentally, but kind of like really jumping in the action. So that kind of like makes you maybe with this kind of like level of possible indecision. They're like possible two partners. One can be completely you, knowing who you are, knowing what you can bring to the table, knowing like that, hey, you know, when I start doing, like, my energy is like, you know, limitless kind of a thing, right? So Fire King always tells me about, hey, you know, I need to kind of like push things forward. It's somebody who is doing lots of action. So whether this is going to be you or somebody is going to enter your life and wine you and dine you, and I don't think it's going to be like I'm in hardcore press, but it's going to be a lot, and it's going to be the person who you will like go like, how can you even do that, right? Like, you're doing like all this stuff and taking care of your kids and being successful at work and still having a time for me, and I can even barely cook lunch and I'm tired. And it could be sort of like just a simply kind of like a different dimension, but I strongly feel it's going to be actually really you, and you are kind of like ready to push things forward. So it's going to feel kind of like maybe one step forward, one step backward this entire kind of like a month. But overall, you're still going to come out like a tiny butterfly, sea kitten. Sea kitten is like a page of cups, right? It's kind of like, oh, let me get my little feet wet. Oh no, I don't know if I really need to. This is kind of like that romantic flirting where there's like really actively pursuing, well, is this something going to be serious, right? So that's what I was saying. It could be a choice, and that choice could be going in all kinds of directions, right? From kind of like sitting in this indecision between, oh my god, do I really want to get myself involved? That can be really nightmarish. And then you start listing for yourself the reasons why you shouldn't be in there, right? You, after all, Gemini, you have this kind of like good and bad continuously kind of like fighting inside, and that's why you're a good devil's advocate. Or, hey, this can be fun, you know, this can work. Like, I mean, I kind of like trust myself, right? Very, very high energy, fire and air. These are like really, really high energies. Think about airplanes and rockets. It is like really something that it is up your alley, but it's also kind of like really something that you need to quickly think and on your feet and process it, right? So, but there is like this appearance, and I really think that, you know, it could be a person that is coming that you might feel not ready for, but try to persist, and you will try to defend yourself from, you know, that entry in your life. If you're in a relationship, it's going to really improve. You're going to start being more active. You might have the second wind and start feeling, oh my goodness, like it feels like back in old times when you were dating. On the other hand, like if you're single and you're starting to date, it will feel like this is really real, and it's going to go to the next stage. It's not going to just like fizzle away after 2 dates or 3 dates, and after he or she gets whatever they want. It's going to feel much different. If nothing else, it's going to be flirty. You're going to get out of the situation where you really don't know how you're heading, where you're heading, and what you're doing. I have also pulled one more card for you, and from my chakra deck, and the card is Impasse. This is really interesting because it's obviously talking about that maybe path is blocked, as we have seen over here, and I really think you are blocking one of those paths, right? And it's kind of like really hard for you to make this decision. So you have to realize that, well, what do you do right now? Do you say, okay, let's back up? Or that there's like some kind of like a reroute, right? So maybe that's an impasse, because this actually card as well sort of like means an impasse, right? Keep in mind the goal is still there, or two. There like could be two different people, it could be two different goals, could be two different directions. If you're asking yourself about the finances, again, there's like a new start. New starts are always tricky. New starts are always nervous, right? You never know where you're going to get. You don't have to go from 1 to 100 in a second. Just keep going, right? This is also a card that is asking you, how really adaptable are you, right? And how you as an air sign react to delays, right? You need to focus. This is also a card of guardian angels, that you really need to surrender and use the opportunities given to you, because it's given to you for having something really wonderful happening to you, to test you, to tell you, look, it's over. You do not have to feel lost. You don't have to feel tired. It is like time to spread your wings and fly, right? So also with this, I would say, to conclude, what is done is done, right? Maybe you have been emotionally upset. Maybe you feel you have been left out and dry. Maybe you have been afraid. Maybe it has been something that is affecting your household and something that really come close to your home. Again, like when this card shows up, I really feel the angels are coming here to protect you, and this is going to be feeling this kind of like a long run. So this is a detour, not a no. So imagine if you're traveling somewhere and like you have, okay, the road doesn't go anywhere. Do you just, okay, I'll just turn around, fine. No, you kind of like pull your phone, you try to figure it out, and that's what happened to me. By mistake, I actually entered a detour, and then by mistake, as I was looking for the alternate route, I put no highways. So I'm like, why is this trip taking 2 hours? And it was like snowing, but these 2 hours is because I pressed no highways, and it took me to this beautiful scenic kind of like way. So very, very important, guys, to kind of like be open that you're going somewhere, and that maybe sometimes things are going to come in a way and you need to find how to move around those obstacles. So Geminis, internet, you can find me on Instagram and on Facebook, and of course, you know, to get the reading with me, cattarot.ca. If this really resonated with you guys, and I hope it did, please subscribe and share, and I hope to hear from you soon. Love you guys. All the best.